We've got sporting greatness, a legion of loyal and joyful fans, and some of our cultural practices are interesting. But one of Tonga's most unique features is its monarchy. The house of His Majesty King Tupou VI, Fale o Tupou, is the only remaining monarchy in the Pacific, and it's hugely influential and important to Tongan society. Hi, Robert.
Hello.
Great to see you.
Oh, hello, finally.
I know. Every year, Robert Filo brings tourists through to the eastern side of Tongatapu. This sleepy village of Moa was once a seat of power in ancient Tonga. And here, you'll find these unique pyramid-like structures known as langi.
This one was built around the 16th century during the rule of Raela himself as his burial mound. They tied these rocks to the side of the double-hulled canoe, and then hundreds of men, they have the ropes pulling with the rolling logs.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Bringing them ashore. Just marvel the constructions.
Yes.
You can close your eyes for a minute in there and see the people working really hard under the authority of Telea to construct such a monument.
These langi are physical reminders of our ancient dynasties. Established around 900 AD, the Tu'i Tonga was the paramount ruler of ancient Tonga. Later, two other branches sprung forth, Tu'i Ha'atakalawa and Tu'i Kanakupolu, usurping political power and influence from the Tu'i Tonga, who then became a spiritual figure instead.
Ka pauna koe tau mo ui koe ni I he taimi koe ia, koe o tua I Tu'i Tonga ai. Pea topu tapu hono sino, pa koe whaunga o tau tauhi a tau tolu ki aina e whai ki he rere I taha. Ko tau tolu koe ke whai ho tau whatongia, na e o mai ai ke tau tauhi aki. Kia ki nau tolu. Ka pau te utala whakatātā. Tanga whewhe tua e o tulangi. Lotonga I heni ai toko lau kilu. Koe nau whai e ngā ue koe o tulangi. O kutalaki he ngahi a honi tokuana e whaka ngā ue pōpula I nau tolu. No. Koe Tu'i Tonga na I toko tahape. Ka pau na anau pōpula. Os fuoloa hono tā mate e Tu'i tapuange. Pea mo e Tu'i mi ono aho mo I kau hou eki. He fu toko lahi ange kakai. Ka koe hea uhinga na kai ke whai pehe ai. He nā nau whai nau tole ngā ue koe Tu'i. Ko e nau Tu'i, te nau mau ho nau inasi mo nau tāpuaki pea mei he Tu'i. Hange pe koe tau whai e mea ke lotu.
This absolute monarchy thrived in ancient times, but where is it now? Towards the end of the 18th century, Tonga was plunged into civil war after the tyrant ruler, Taufa'ahau, was assassinated. The civil war would last 50 years until Taufa'ahau, an ambitious and strategic rival, launched a campaign to take control of Tonga. Backed by Wesleyan missionaries, Taufa'ahau emerged victorious. 1845, he consolidated all three dynasties under one crown and was christened King George Tupou I, the first king and father of modern Tonga. 1875 saw the enactment of the Tonga Constitution, which limited the powers of the monarch and granted greater freedoms to the people.
I would say that the first effect was a sacrifice on the monarch, because his wide powers were now limited to only what is provided in the Constitution. I think the majority of the people, they gained the most privilege. They were granted freedom of slavery. Then they were given, most importantly, the freedom to the fruits of their labors, something they never experienced before.
The days of ancient Tonga faded and the modern monarchy took hold. So, does our modern royal family still carry the same political and spiritual power they once wielded?
You never saw people walking past the palace with an umbrella open. As soon as they'd get to the corner of the palace, you'd see them put their umbrella down. I remember Queen Salote's car saw a man was on a horse riding towards it, he'd get off the horse and sit on the ground. But things have changed now. I think you have to be accessible.
King Taufa'ahau IV was a champion for education. At one point, Tonga had more PhDs per capita than any other country in the world. But with a better educated populace, grew an appetite for political reform.
We're not talking here about a replacement of the monarchy. We're talking about a democratization and a reform that will allow people to choose their government. It will allow the government to become accountable to the people.
Do you think that there will be a Western-style democracy here in Tonga and it's just a matter of time?
I think it'll happen in the future.
King George V relinquished many of his constitutional powers, ushering a new era of Tongan politics, monarchy and democracy. In the past, the monarch had the power to elect the government. Now, it would be the people. The way nobles and the royal family live and work has also changed.
The king, queen, crown prince, or the immediate royal family have an income from the government. But for myself and the rest of the royal family do not have an income from the government. Fortunately, my parents educated us overseas, so therefore we could work and earn our own living. For instance, 2 of my children are civil servants. They work in government. Perhaps the concept of the responsibility has changed very little, but for the royal family, it has always been a leadership role. We lead the people in Christian living. We lead the people hopefully lead the people in education, and in all our cultural activities, we also lead people then.
Tupou VI assumed the throne after his older brother's death 3 years ago. Today, the transition was complete. He was anointed with holy oil, adorned with a ring and sceptre, then crowned King of Tonga.
Receive the crown of royal dignity and honour.
I think that we still need the constitutional monarchy. When His late Majesty granted the Constitution of Tonga, he did mention again and again how he had hoped that Tonga will remain Tonga for the Tongans.